All right, so what's up, LinkedIn? This is a recording from like 3 years ago. I was working a deal roughly around like $10 million. I did not get this deal. There's a lot of things I did wrong on this one, but so we already had the first meeting with multiple people, VP of manufacturing, VP of supply chain, as well as the CFO. This call is after the first meeting we had in person. We were going through data and stuff like that. This call's with the controller. And yeah, I'm going to play a little bits and pieces of it. This is something you'll see. I'm going to show you where I missed on some things that I think, I don't know, essentially could have probably gave me a better shot at getting the meeting, or not meeting, but getting the deal.
They have this ginormous spreadsheet and by sales order number, so outgoing orders. The logistics teams will there. These are our negotiated rates. These are our confirmed rates. So everything goes out. When the invoices come in, what my team does is they go in and they check that spreadsheet to verify that what we're being billed is what was agreed upon. And then there's weird stuff that comes in. If there's like detention or lumper fees that can come in. And then we'll chase it down. I'm not comfortable with saying if it's 10% higher, just roll with it.
So prior to this, I was talking about 10%. So it's funny, but you'll see more. But the CFO, I was like, they were giving us Excel spreadsheets, so we didn't really know if like what they were like, is that what they were actually billed at the end prior to what they were quoted? And they were like, yeah, we pretty much just allocate 10% as a cost of doing business. Well, watch what the controller says.
I kind of want to know what's going on before we approve anything, because I've seen it where they sort of sneak stuff, like these carriers will sneak stuff in, and it's like, yeah, no, like that's nowhere near any, like we're not paying that.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's silly. I was like, I don't care if it's $5. That's $5.
$5 is $5. Hey, $5 is $5.
Yeah. So my team will check the spreadsheet, check the invoice, and then we book into AP. So we do check by outgoing customer. So the sales order numbers, and then we'll allocate it by case. So say there's a shipment that's got 10,000 cases going on it, and it's for 2 customers. We'll split those costs in half, or ratably, depending on the number of cases that are going out or the number of pallets. And we allocate that cost to our customer because I bill the customer P&L at the end of the month. So that's kind of manual.
When you so the manual part is, so basically you're charging back your customer for the freight at the end of the month, or
I can't even, I hate, so I had no idea really cost to serve, right? How it allocates. Watch what she says but this is where I totally missed. Hey, you only know what you know, right? So I missed, I watch.
After the order?
No, so the freight is built into the price of our merchandise.
Okay.
So we covered 100%, but the reason why I want it split out is so that we can actually validate if we're pricing it correctly to these customers. Smart. Especially if there's a bunch of folks on the East Coast, it's more to truck it across the country.
Smart.
And then we have customers that have super strict, like you can only deliver on Mondays, and those are more expensive because it's not just like, hey, whenever you get there, if it's within this week. So there's sort of a markup around, a specific delivery time or expedited delivery. So I like to look at all of that just to make sure that we're pricing everything correctly.
Very smart.
But it's really like, how many cases did they get? Divide this by that and apply it. I don't know if that could be changed, or maybe there's.
Yes, that could have been changed. So controller is very smart. What she's doing is breaking out cost to serve and making sure that everything's tying in if they're actually pricing. Look at this now. I wish I'm going to go back to this one, but like wishing they could, she's tracking if they're actually by customer, by case, if they're actually pricing their product correctly. And if not, how do we go about it from, we got to figure out how we can properly allocate transportation costs into this pricing model. Very, very smart. This super smart, right? Woo! Over my head. This was like 3 years ago. So, however, you hear, well, it's a manual process, right? So she's already 10 steps above most companies, right? But what I missed is because I didn't know what she was really even talking about. And I could have easily broke out that cost to serve by, I mean, I do it every day right now, right? So it's like I could have given her a weekly report, breaking it down by cost to serve, by customers, by location, and showing what she was actually having to do manually, or her team was having to do manually, making sure that they're properly pricing their product right. So you could tell I'm a little frustrated, but again, this is why I won. This is why I record everything. I like to critique myself. You're never going to get better, and hopefully someone out there gets watches this and gets some value from it. But let's watch a little bit more.
The way you can bake it in like a price per case and where it's going, I don't know. It's literally, that's as simple as it can get.
I can definitely use that. So right now, I mean, the quoted versus build. So
I'm an idiot.
So the quoted versus build, I can actually we can give you weekly or
it's because I don't know. The quoted versus build? We're not even talking about that. We're talking about cost to serve. Oh, this frustrates me because I'm an idiot.
Monthly reports on, discrepancy reports, right? So you were quoted this, you were billed this, and any type of, I mean, again, I know you said, you said, hey, I want to just know even if it's $5, and I honestly think that's a good thing, right? So we could actually give you, I mean, however you want to.
Your boys just was dumb. Anyways, I got it to the end of this. I actually have the final meeting. So this company vetted everything out. Was looking at 3 different 3PLs. I did not win this one. I'm not sure. This is obviously, I don't think this was the reason. There was there's other things into it, but like, again, from critiquing myself, like this is something that it's funny is because the CFO wasn't even like that's as smart as this controller. And he was the one who was talking about, just tacking on 10%. Well, little did he know that his controller and her team were going in manually and doing that. If I would have pressed on that, and there were some things I could do for her, but that was the biggest point that would have been the biggest selling point, and she would have been a huge champion. And maybe I could have put myself in a better situation to get this deal, and $10 million down the drain. Anyways, cost to serve, know it. If you don't know it, get to know it, because this is smart people, smart businesses, especially finance, are going to, take it from the controller that I was talking to, whether they're doing, she had to do it manually. That stinks, but she still was doing it and her team was doing it. That puts them up 10 times ahead of most companies that don't even know their cost to serve. I could have just made her life easier by providing, because the company I work for, we could have definitely did that. I wasn't educated enough to know really what cost to serve was. So you see why I like really dialed in on the finance piece of it. And I thought I knew finance as much as I did, and I really didn't. So always be learning, but hopefully this gives you guys some kind of help if you're going into these accounts and trying to get strategic with them and bring a one-stop shop type deal with it. So take my fail and learn from it. So happy Friday, guys. Go get it.